Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. So today I'd like to call your attention to an article that was linked to me by my good friend and YouTube mentor, Eli the Computer Guy. It says, YouTube continues to see ad revenue decline, 2.6% drop year over year. So YouTube brought in $6.69 billion in ad revenue for quarter one of 2023, which is a 2.6% decline compared to what they made during the same period last year. And they have also had 3 straight quarters of decline. Now, there are a number of different reasons for this, and I'm very curious which is the case. Behind door number 1, less people are using YouTube in general. Behind door number 2, you have the same number of people using YouTube, but more people are using things like Brave Browser, which by default blocks the ads on YouTube, or NewPipe, or YouTube Vanced, or any of these applications that allow you to use YouTube on your phone or on your desktop without ever seeing an ad. Behind door number 3, the same number of people are watching YouTube and the same number of people are watching ads, but the advertisers are not willing to spend as much money due to the economic environment. So instead of spending $1.50 for 1,000 people to watch your ad, you may be looking at, let's say, I'm only willing to spend 33 cents or 20 cents or 10 cents for that number of people to do so. So it's one of the 3 above. Less users, same number of users, more people blocking ads, or the advertisers are simply deciding we are going to spend less money for the advertising. We are bidding less for them. Now, their response was, don't worry about this. People are uploading more shorts. Last year, the number of channels that uploaded shorts daily grew over 80%. Those posting weekly on shorts, so the majority of new channel subscribers coming from their short posts, Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google and Alphabet, said. And the problem that I have with that is that from my old man rancid cloud from angry lounge chair perspective, shorts are cancer. They suck. I get nothing out of watching a 15-second video. I get absolutely nothing out of scrolling through TikTok or watching shorts. They suck. And now they're talking about how they have a feature where you can now watch shorts directly on your smart TV, but this is not making anything better because smart TVs are also cancer. In fact, they're worse than cancer. I like having my Linux desktop, DisplayPort, which outputs to a dumb monitor that cannot connect to the internet, cannot collect any sort of tracking crap on me, cannot advertise to me or anything like that. Linux desktop, ad blocker, DisplayPort to a dumb monitor, the way that it should be. YouTube also reiterated plans to ramp up its efforts to make YouTube more shoppable. The company partnered with Shopify last year to enable YouTubers and merchants to feature products on their channels. We're seeing strong watch time growth. Monetization is also progressing nicely. People are engaging and converting with ads across shorts at increasing rates. I'm barely willing to deal with an advertisement for a 10-minute video. Who is dealing with advertisement on 15-second shorts? Who is going to deal with any sort of marketing or advertising or banners when they're dealing with a 15-second video? I find this very difficult to believe. I really find this difficult to believe. Who in their right mind is dealing with any sort of marketing when you're watching a 15-second video? I don't even like the 15-second videos. I get nothing out of a 15-second video. I prefer the long-form content. I want the 20-minute, the 30-minute, the 2-hour-long videos. But I can understand an ad. I can understand even a 30-second ad for a 2-hour-long video. I have no idea who is willing to dig and who's buying stuff off of this to begin with. How many people watch a 15-second long video and after the 15-second long video think, oh yeah, I definitely wanted a gift card to Fogo de Chao or something. Let me buy. This just doesn't make any sense to me. And I honestly am starting to believe Eli the Computer Guy when he says that none of this was ever sustainable. When you just take a look at the media landscape, whether it's the New York Post admitting that after decades they've had their first profit, when you have a newspaper that is essentially a clickbait tabloid that tries to get people as mad as humanly possible so that they'll pick it up and read it. This is not profitable. BuzzFeed News not profitable. A number of media companies you see going bankrupt left and right. And the way Eli the Computer Guy put it was very, very succinctly. So you have Twitter, which costs $7 to $9 billion a year to run. And this was a website with text. You could upload video to it, but for the most part, Twitter is a website for text and images. That costs $7 to $9 billion a year to run. Now you have YouTube. Let's say $6.69 billion a quarter, multiply that by 4, divide that by 2 because there's a split between YouTube and the creator, and you get about $13.38 billion in advertising revenue that YouTube gets to keep. Now, do you think YouTube costs more money or less money to run than a website where people upload text to? A website that has virtually every movie in the world, every single political speech, every single thing you could possibly think of has been uploaded to this at some point in time and then transcoded into 1080p, 720p, 480p, 360p, 144p, numerous different codecs, and then distributed to servers around the world. Do you think that costs more to run than Twitter or less? that margin seems really, really small there. And one of the reasons I believe that there are no competitors to YouTube that don't suck is because this model fundamentally doesn't work. This media model doesn't work, and it never worked. And one of the things that I think you're going to see as ad rates go down are people that decided that they are going to bet the farm on this, that they are going to base their livelihoods and their careers off of doing YouTube videos. The people that actually quit their job, quit whatever it is that they do to make money, to make YouTube videos, is going to be this weird cycle that you're going to start seeing over the next few years, where the content that is made is content that is trying as hard as it can to get as much money out of the stone as humanly possible. The same way that when a city or a state starts to fail, well, they have to raise taxes, but more people leave, so they raise taxes more, so more people leave, so now they have even less of a budget, so they raise, like, it's the same way that you have that death spiral that can occur for certain areas financially. I think you may start noticing that with the content on YouTube as time goes on, and dare I say it, I think we may actually be in the midst of it right now when you look at the type of content that is constantly promoted by the algorithm, but also the type of content that many creators tend to trend towards over time. There are many channels on YouTube that used to talk about news that now talk about how there's going to be a civil war every day. There are finance channels that used to give good tips on finance that are talking about how you need to buy silver and gold and stack it in your closet because the dollar is going to be worthless tomorrow. And how you feel about any of those topics, it's really difficult to ignore the fact that the content that is on YouTube, the stuff that is promoted, the stuff that wins, is consistently way more sensationalist now than it was, let's say, 7, 8, or 10 years ago. And I think that you're going to see that spiral exponentially flip up, particularly among content creators that, well, call themselves content creators. The people that quit their actual J jobs in order to do this for a living as the ad revenue goes down. As the amount of money that they get per video goes down, they are going to do everything that they can to make as much as possible off of the videos that they create with anything left. And that's going to result in things, I don't know, more thumbnails doing this. When I do this in a thumbnail, by the way, I need you guys to promise you're going to unsubscribe. If I ever do this, promise me, pinky swear that if I do this, you will unsubscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that YouTube is profitable? Do you think that this was ever profitable? Because I remember back in the day, they used to actually post whether or not YouTube was running at a loss, and they stopped publishing those figures a long time ago. Publicly traded companies that are actually making a net profit at things tend to want to brag about it, not hide it. So I really am curious, and I genuinely believe there's a good chance that none of this ever worked. And I would agree with Eli, the computer guy, that when you have a period of really, really hyper-scale investing where you're trying to grow something without caring about profit for long periods of time because you have a lot of investor money, it is very easy to distort the market and get other people to believe that something is actually viable when in fact it was never viable all along. At one point, you never know. Maybe I'll have to pay a hosting fee for you to watch me scream into the camera and pet BlackBerry. Or maybe you would have to pay a subscription fee to see me pet BlackBerry. Would you guys pay a subscription fee to see me pet BlackBerry? Look at how cute she is. Look at how happy she is when you pet her. Look at that. She's literally eating this up. This is actually the cutest cat in the world right here. What a beautiful girl. What a beautiful kitty. What a beautiful girl. What a beautiful girl. Well, that's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. Look at how happy she is.